hardcores out there, how you doing? Russ here from Poker's Corner, the biggest go in sport. Yes, it is true, Julian's YouTube channel, Julian McGowan Boxing Predictions YouTube, he just took his videos off his channel and put them on private. I think he probably needs to clear his head, because every now and then this was what boxing does to people, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? I hope Julian don't walk away from doing what he's doing, because he's really good, and I think he's probably close to getting a job with Dennis at Fight Academy on BBC, so that's positive, isn't it? But it can affect people in many ways, boxing, can't it? Because it's emotions, isn't it? Boxing's subjective. Cheers, mate. Boxing's subjective, isn't it, right? So what you've got is people can argue and toss all the time, can't they? Have you read some comments that Julian gets sent? Some of them are like Janet and John book 1 crayon job, innit? Do you know what I mean? When I get comments like that, what can you say? What do you do? I reply or leave it. It's best off leaving it if it's something just outlandish that Fury wins every second of every fight against, of every minute against Usyk. Whoops, indicator on it. So Julian's probably having a little break in that, but he'll be alright. I'll be able to see him, so cheer him back up. We're getting back on side. Can't be losing somebody who people are saying has got a lot of integrity, and they want him and Simon Jordan to be, in a fantasy world, they'd want him and Simon Jordan, wouldn't they, to be main men at border control, wouldn't they? Because they've just got a bit of integrity, haven't they? They're just going to tell it straight. Because under the 15-year regime of Roberto Smith, aka Smithy, under his 15-year tenure, he's a mess, in it. It's a mess. You know, he don't know what he's doing. None of them do. All they are is a bunch of old men that filter about at shows, just, is everybody alright, and having food bought them by promoters and drinks and rooms paid for. All it is this. It's really simple, really, isn't it? It's really simple. It's free gratis, isn't it? That's what this is, isn't it? Free gratis. So, and people are sick of it now. Get him in his little pea shooter. Get out of my way, you little pea shooter. Oh, go on. I'm getting a ticket today, but the point I want to make is, the border control is the border of no control whatsoever. No control. None of them know what they're doing. What do they do? I mean, look how long it took them to make a decision on the Conor Benn fight with Chris Eubank Jr. How long did it take to make that decision? But they wouldn't have come out with that decision if it hadn't leaked into the Daily Mail, would they? You forgot about that, didn't you, Roberto? Didn't you? Hey? So what can you do? Nobody's listening, are they? Nobody's listening anymore. The board of no control, Roberto Smith, you need to resign. Do yourself a favour. Go now while you've still got a little bit of credibility. If you go now, I'll say, do you know what? He realised he didn't know what he was doing, but he had his paws, his dirty little grubby paws, in the biscuit barrel 15 years and never washed his hands. So don't get me talking about that lot. The British board of no control, like politicians. You ask them a question, they can't answer no. Well, what's the point in going to answer questions? It's like all them divs in Parliament, innit? They're all sitting there, all supposed to be answering questions, yes or no or whatever. They can't even answer a simple question like, Boris Johnson, what mark would you give yourself out of 10 for your performance while you've been Prime Minister. He can't even say 1 or 10 or 5 or 7 or whatever, can he? Smithy, aka Roberto, he's the same. So Roberto, every time I see him, ask Dennis Hobson, ask anybody here, what would you give yourself for a mark out of 10 for while you've been at the helm? Phew, Porky's here, they're gone. Ask anybody. Charlie Giles, the lot. Everybody licks their asses. Everybody licks their asses at shows, and when they walk away they go, say it to the face, all you licence holders. They might cowering around them at shows and then giving it this on your WhatsApp. Go say it to the face like I do. So I'm sick of them. They don't know what they're doing. It's like giving a 15-year-old kid an handbrush to respray a Ferrari. You don't know what they're doing, and it's been going on too long now. And look where we're at. Look where we're at. Look where we're at. I'm like, I can't believe it. Fans control boxing, in my opinion. Fans control boxing. Look, Curtis Woodhouse has done a video going on about Joshua and that. Look, Joshua has got a good CV, but let's have it right. He's not fought Fury, he's not fought Wilder, has he? He didn't fight Ortiz when he should have done. They threw him in with Eric Molina and put Dave Allen in with Ortiz. But really, Dave should have been in with Molina, and David had probably chopped him down, Molina. That's just how I look at it. But that's where we're at. Well, look at the state. Look at the state of British boxing. Look at it. Don't tell me it's booming. It's rubbish. It's rubbish. Anybody who's anybody can get a licence now. Look at the shape of some of these people getting licences and their ages. Look at some of these school dinner ladies that they've had lined up for all these women that, you know, that are half alright. Look at some of them. Look at some of the state of them. Some of them are fighting for world titles in the 40s and they're working librarian shops. That's not boxing. It's white collar. It's white collar. Or it's a slag outside Witherspoon pulling somebody's hair on a Saturday night. Down Becky Carno. Look at this here. Just how I feel. Every now and then I have to get revved up over it. Don't have to get it out of the system. You know what I mean? I'm not a bit like Julian. He's a bit more calmer than me, innit? That's why I suppose we do alright on the channel, innit? Good cop, bad cop. I ain't wild banana. He's more calmer, innit? A bit like Kevin, innit? Patrick and Dennis. I suppose people doing what they do, they're probably a bit more cool, calm and collected, aren't they? Whereas I'm a bit like, when anything used to happen up at Dennis's, ask anybody, I'd be like him hard at Muppets, you know, drummer. Bit bouncing up and down like an lunatic. Dennis sat there like that with his kettle crisps, really cool, eating his kettle crisps. But look, boxing plays you in emotions. Look, you've just seen, if you go onto Julian McGowan boxing prediction, you'll see Julian's pulled his channel for a couple of weeks now, probably to give his head some to clear. And I react differently. I just think it's a mess. Where's the next big fight? Where? Where is it? Where? Kell Brook against Conor Benno. Beefy Eubank rematch after the first one. Does it even need a rematch? It was so conclusive. Well, what have we got here? 2 minutes left. But I can't see. Lights are fucking cool. Got no done today, have I? Oh, we have a gap. This is what happens when you get on A1. You get stuck behind. You get stuck behind 2 wagons. Look at them both doing 55. Same lane. It's great, that, isn't it? That's what you need, isn't it, on Tuesday morning? So, okie dokie. That's about it, really. I'd like to get Drippy Tap on today because I'm up his neck of woods now, but I I don't know if he's up for it. He's a bit disillusioned as well, but we'll see if we can get the Drippinator on, shall we? He's good fun, isn't he, the Drip? The Drip loves boxing, doesn't he? Let's have it right. The Drippinator just loves boxing. He was the first one to call it, have a con event though, wasn't he? Do you know what I mean? So, see if we can get Drip on there. We'll see what the Drippinator's got to say. What about, mate? Pulling up, mate, it's turning off. I want to slow down, I will. Signal's on. Well, they don't like it when you're behind them and you're just going slow, do they? Give them a taste of their own medicine, that's what I say, these wagon drivers. Oh, okie doke, let's see if we can get the Drippinator on. Oh, okay. Pizza. Pizza. Porky's Corner is proud to be sponsored by Spartan Site Solutions. They are specialists in civil engineering and demolition contracts for the construction industry. Interested parties should visit their website or contact Porky's Corner for a referral at porkycorner@mail.com.